Morning or good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Gator Saga. That's it. We're at it this morning. You seen this monument last time we were here. What we're going to endeavor in is a little bit of electrical. It's not to show you how to do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it. Licensed electrician in Ontario, Canada. That's the papers I have, and I've seen a lot of people in the last year endeavor into their own electrical. I have no problems people doing their DIY own electrical. Start off, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the people and the way, the frame of mind that you have to have for to do electrical. Because some people, the frame, you see, it's a big deception, eh? When you build something, eh? And you got the roof on, okay, you got your walls up, well, you think you're almost done. Well, I got breaking news for you folks. Hey, it just begun. Because it takes forever to finish something. And when you got your walls up and your outside sheeting's done, well, now is the time to think about, what am I going to put up for electrical? Because a lot of people, they jump a few steps, eh? I seen people go into spraying the insulation or even insulating, and then you start thinking electrical afterwards. Electrical. Well, okay, I'll tell you the steps in the house. You're building a house, okay? You have frame, okay? Floor, studs, stud walls inside, okay? Then comes the plumbing, the electrician, the heating. They all come together, but preferably, usually they want to see the mechanical guys, like the tinsmith and the plumber go first, because it's a lot of their lines are harder to go around the electrical. As far as I kind of frown on this a little bit, because I sort of like to think that we're first, but it never happens. Plumbing, heating, electrical, that's the order. Okay, then you go into insulation, and then you think of your finishing. Okay, but not insulate and finish the walls and then call the electrician or think about doing your electrical afterwards. I'm not going to name names here, but I even gave a suggestion to a guy. It was maybe a few years ago on YouTube, and he was building a house, and he was framed. He was starting to do it's like he's got a sawmill, and he's finishing his inside walls with planking that he's sawed on his sawmill, and he got planed, and he's got it all varnished, and he's going to finish it. So I said, it's the perfect time to do your electrical. Well, he says to me, he says, I'm not hooked up to the utilities. I'm just on 12 volts. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. 12 volts or 120 to 240, same thing. It's electricity, and what are you going to do? Put it all surface? And I don't know, where are you going to put your wires? You're going to have some lights somewhere. So you got to think about these things and the utility of things. There's regulations too, eh? By the way, like you put a 110 220 in a normal house or even a garage or a shed. There's regulations, and you gotta be wary of that. Here in Ontario, where I am, it's 12 different plugs to one circuit. Okay, one circuit is comprised of a wire coming from the panel on a single breaker. 12. It's maximum, but you gotta use your head, eh? If you know that you're gonna be ironing in one place, and you know that particular plug is going to be for ironing, well, You know, an iron, well, maybe you don't know, but I'm going to tell you, An iron draws about the maximum, okay, 1500 watts. That 15 amp breaker is going to supply, so you're going to dedicate that plug and make a separate circuit just for that specific plug. It's just like usually what I do in in a washroom, not a washroom, a laundry room. I'll have a dedicated plug for the ironing board, because you need one. And instances like that, if you're wiring a garage or a shed, it's the same thing. If you don't put 12 plugs on the same circuit, because you know, like, you're gonna use one thing and you're gonna have more load than you're gonna have on just inside a do nothing shed. If you're gonna be extension cords, lights. The only, now it's a different case, and there's less demand on circuits since the LED lighting has come out, so you can be a little bit more forgiving, but it's something to think about, and the convenience too. Okay, I'll tell you just one instance. If something you can think of, if ever you get to, like, if you buy a house and you can call the shots on where you're going to have plugs, well, in your bedroom, I always, right at the head of the bed and at the right height too, either side of where you think your bed's going to be, always put a switch for the light on a treeway. That's something else. But anyways, always put a switch so that the light can be turned on either beside the bed or at the entrance of the room. And it's convenience. And you put your plugs where you figure, okay, that's my sofa in the family room or whatever, and you figure where the sides of the sofa is going to be, so you put them, but from one plug to the next, you're not supposed to have more than 12 feet. Okay, so you don't put them 20 feet apart, and you need a canoe or a bike to go from one plug to the other, and you end up with a whole bunch of extension cords. Doesn't cost much. When it's time to, I'm talking a lot here, I think where I'm going, I'm not gonna have time to do nothing on here, but I'm just trying to give you an idea that there's a lot of preparation, a lot more than bing bang bung and then your electrical's done, and you gotta think of when you gotta do it, and the dedicated circuits. Like, if you're gonna plug in, okay, this is what all this is all about, but we're gonna do this in steps. First, I'm gonna show you how to do all this. Well, show you how I do it, and then we're gonna be plugging in one of these little heaters, okay? And we're gonna see. I'm gonna try and show people that if you can do without these, it's getting colder, and people, well, I think more in the southern climates than up here. Up here we have heating systems, okay, that are adequate, and you can heat your whole house. If you don't have, well, get it fixed so it does, because you know every winter it's going to get cold. But where you don't get cold all the time, well, then you're less ready for the cold weather. They're more oriented there towards the air condition, and cold is, well, maybe you get maybe a few weeks of cold a year, so you're less. It's makes less sense to spend a lot of money to get ready for the cold weather. But even if you're gonna plug in these little heaters, or hang on, I get it in frame here. These little heaters, or even the bigger ones, like I seen the movie. Steve Robb has he has one in his shed there. Radiant. He's got it on the ceiling, and those work good, but don't plug that into a circuit that you have, just a normal circuit that you have maybe 10 plugs on, or plugs and lights, or get a dedicated circuit to the panel for the heater. Then I'm more comfortable with that. But there's instances, and I'm gonna fast track this. Okay, I'm going to work on this a little bit, and you're going to see fast action there. I'll be back, and I probably won't be telling you much about the different things on this video, but on the next one, okay? This will be done in installments, probably a few, like 2, maybe 3, because I have something I want to show at the end, dealing with the heater here and special things, but we won't get into that. We're just gonna do electrical wiring, this, how I do it, and it'll give you an idea of what we're gonna be dealing with. So hang in there, and I'm coming back with some fast action. Hey folks, I think that's enough for today, eh? Oops, hang on, you can't see my eyes, eh? I gotta keep on going with this, and before I start the next video, I'm gonna show you the whole thing set up, and then we'll try to make it to the end on the next video. There's a purpose for this that I can't tell you right now. This is just to show you how electrical, how you should do it a little bit. How I do it, I should say. Not how you should do it, how I do it. You can do it whichever way you want. But there's a way, your grounds, you got to respect your grounds, your colors on different sides of the plugs. But I'm not about the, I'm sure there's videos on YouTube to show you all that. It's just show you a little bit about how the process of wiring something and the strapping too. Okay, maybe I'll just show you that, because I haven't seen nothing on YouTube about the strapping. Hang on, I'll turn this a little bit more. A strap, I should say fastening of the wires. See here? I don't know if you can see the top and the bottom of the
the next box. Here, that's the bottom of this box. See the wire starts here? Strap about halfway in between. There's a wire goes in on top. And then there was a wire at the bottom of this one here. But you always leave kind of a little, enough to give you a little bit of slack. You never pull that right into the box real tight. Because if ever you gotta take it out, well, it's nice to have a little bit of slack. But when you run wire, like from, let's say from the, oops, hang on, you're here, eh? From the top of the plate, you run wire down to 12 inches. Remember that one? And the last time, 12 inches to underneath. Hang on, underneath the box. Well, you're supposed to strap the wire. Hang on. You're supposed to strap the wire every 5 feet. 5 feet. Okay, so you should have one within, I always say around 6-8 inches from the box. Have one strap. And then the next strap halfway from the hole in the plate at the top to this one here. So then you wire, the reason for this, okay, hang on. I want to explain a little bit here. Why you should do this, and there's a good reason. Is that when the wire comes in the top hole, by strapping it not too far, and you got to keep that wire tight, okay? So it's just going straight down, center of the stud, and then you strap it. You strap it, you don't, don't strap it to damage the outer jacket of the wire, but you strap it tight so it stays there, okay? Well, that's to assure that when the drywall guys come with their screws, they don't pick into the wire, right? Because I've seen that happen. And even if you try to prevent it, sometimes it's very hard. And then close to the box, you put it tight again. So that when you wire, most of your wires in the house are going to come in from the top. They're going to go down right to your box. Well, that wire can't be just waggling and loose. It's got to be tight against the stud and in the center more or less of the stud, not to the side. So if they pick with the screw right beside the stud, they pick right into your wire, because then you could have a live drywall screw, and that's a whole different story. I could tell you that. I just come to mind their story. It wasn't in the houses, it was in the apartments when I was young, high-rise apartments, and we were dealing with BX, eh? And when we turn, like, you put all the plugs and switches on, and then turn the breakers on, and you test to make sure that you got power on every plug to make sure your circuits are continuous, eh? And it turned on the 100 amp breaker. It blew. But that's okay. This has to do with the quality of breaker, okay? Breakers aren't all the same quality. There's some that are better than others, and there are some that have in the past, I know specifically, some that have been real bad. But okay, and these were the panels with the real bad, I won't mention no names here, but hey, a 15 amp breaker, okay, because the circuit was tied to a 15 amp breaker in the panel, and that drywall screw was picking right through the BX, okay, which is a aluminum sheet armor, right into the power. It blew a 100 amp breaker. That's incredible. Hey, okay, and this is getting long in the tooth, eh? So okay, I salute you all. Tune in to part 2 of this, eh? Because we're gonna try to finish this before Santa Claus comes around, I hope. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. I'll be back. Salute you all. Questions or comments are welcome, and we'll see you in the next one.